Verse 14, Ke ipen af to Lavan, and Laban said to him, Ek ton, O stone mu, from out of my bone, O stone, ostia, osteoporosis, ostia, bones, derivative, ostia. Ke ek te sarkos mus ise, and from out of my flesh, sarcophagus, sarkos, are you. Cain met aftu mina imeron, and he was with him a month of days. Mean month. Menses would be one English derivative. 29:15. Ipe they Lavan to Yaakov oti, and Laban said to Jacob that, Gar adelphos mu e, for you are my brother. U thu levsis me thorian, you shall not be a slave to me without charge. Apangilon me tis omistosu esti, you tell to me what your wage is. And Jacob replies, To de Lavan isen theo thigateres, and to Laban there were two daughters, theo, duo. Onoma ti mizoni Leah, the older, the mizoni. Ke onoma ti neotera, neo, a neophyte, neotera, the younger, Rachel. 17. Ide ophthalmi Leas asthenis, ophthalmi, ophthalmologist. The eyes of Leah were weak. Well, that doesn't mean she was wearing glasses and had bad eyesight, but it was a figure of speech that she wasn't good looking to the eyes. Rachel they in Kali toithi, was good to the sight. Ke orea ti opsi svodra, and beautiful in opsi. We have a biopsy, a synopsis, or derivatives, something to do with appearance. Exceedingly beautiful. In verse 18, Igapisa de Yaakov tin Rachel. Jacob loved agape in 25. It's a derivative, Rachel. Keipe, and he said, Thu levso si epta eti peri Rachel tis thigatros su tis neoteres. I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. Verse 19, Ipe they afto Lavan, Laban said to him, Veltion thune me aftin si, better for me to give her to you, e thune me aftin andri etero, than for me to give her to another man. Ikison met emu, you live with me. Verse 20, Ke adhulev sen Yaakov peri Rachel epta eti, and Jacob served for Rachel 7 years. Ke isen en nantion aftu os imeri olige, and they were before him as a few days. Olige, we have an oligarchy, a rule by a few. Para to agapan afton aftin, because of his love, or the love of his, for her. 21. Ipe de Yaakov to Lavan, and Jacob said to Laban, Thos me tin gine kamu, and so after this period of time he says, Give to me my wife. Pepli ronte gar e imere, opos iseltho pros aftin, for the days are fulfilled so as to enter to her. 22. Siniga ge they Lavan pantas tus andrus tu topu, and Laban brought together sinigage, synagogue, and this is the verbal form. He brought together all the men of the place. Ke apis gamon, and he made a wedding. Verse 23. Ke ageneto espera, and it became evening, vespers, the derivative. Ke lavon lean tin thigatera aftu, and taking Leah his daughter, isiga gen aftin pros Yaakov. He brought her to Jacob instead of Rachel. Ke isilthe pros aftin Yaakov. And Jacob entered to her. In verse 24, Etoke they Lavan Leah ti thigatri af tu Zelphon tin paidiskin af tu. And Laban gave Leah his daughter Zilpah, his maidservant, Laban's maidservant, to be her servant or slave. 25, Ageneto they toproi, and it happened in the morning, ke idhu, and behold, in Leah, there was Leah. Ipe they Yaakov to Lavan, and Jacob said to Laban, Ti tuto episas me. What is this you did to me? Uperi Rakil edulevsa parasi. Was it not on account of Rachel I served for you? Ke inati paralogiso me. Why did you mislead me? 26. Ipe they Lavan uk esten utos en totopo imon dune tin neoteran prin tis presbyteras. It is not so in our place to give the younger, the neoteran, before the presbyteras, the elder. Presbyterian is a derivative. Verse 27. Sinteleson un ta ebdoma tavtis ke doso si ke tavtin antitis ergasias is erga par emi. You complete then these sevenths, and I will give to you also this woman for the ergasias, ergonomics work, of which you will work for me. Eti epta eti etera, and yet another 7 years. Now, I've always questioned this, if he had to wait 7 years before he had Rachel. Here, as we see, I don't believe so. I think he was able to have Rachel for a wife. He just had to work another 7 years, from what I gather, but I could be wrong. In verse 28, Epis say they Yaakov utos, and Jacob did so. Ke anapliro say ta ebdoma tavtis, and fulfilled these, her sevenths, the sevenths, because tavtis is in the feminine, 7 years. It doesn't say years, though, and so sevenths. Ke edoke afto Lavan Rakil tin thigatera aftu, and Laban gave to him Rachel, his daughter, afto gineka, to him as wife. So now he has both. In verse 29, Edoka they Lavan tin thigatri aftu Valan tin paidiskin, and Laban gave Bilhah, the maidservant, to his daughter. So she has a slave or a maidservant. In verse 30, Ke isilthe pros Rakil, and he entered to Rachel. Igapise they Rakil malon Elean, and he loved Rachel rather than Leah. So to me it seems like that he's having intercourse with both of them at the same time, because he's picking one. If it was just Leah for these 7 years, why would it said he loved her more? Because it would be the only one that he would have had. And so to me it seems like, unless I'm wrong here, we'll figure it out going through this period of time. But it says, and he served ke adulevsen afto epta eti etera, and he served him another 7 years.